Welcome back for another Testimony Tuesday. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Cyril Grayson. Cyril and I went to college together, and Cyril is now a free agent NFL wide receiver. In college, Cyril was a track athlete, and he ran the 400. 400. I did not introduce myself. I'm Jasmine Wilson. And today we're going to talk about passion and what passion looks like in Cyril's life and in this season. And so, Cyril, welcome. Thanks for
Hi,
joining today.
Jasmine.
So, what does passion mean to you?
What passion means to me is it's a bunch of different things kind of balled up into one thing. Passion has a lot of emotion that's attached to it. Um, Passion comes with sacrifice. Passion is like an outward expression of what you're feeling sometimes. Like I just can picture like some people or myself, like when I score a touchdown and all of that type of stuff, like the emotion that comes out, and that's because of the passion that I have for what I'm doing. Um, think passion, when I say sacrifice, it's kind of talking about like Jesus dying on the cross for us. He was so dedicated to what he was doing that he even went to the point of death, because he believed in what he was doing was the right thing so much. And so that's what passion is to me.
How would you define failure?
In my season, like, or
Um,
just failure, period.
in life, but then also in your season.
Yeah, failure to me, I was just talking to one of my friends, and failure is just stopping doing whatever you set your goals to. Like sometimes we have setbacks, and sometimes people attribute those things to failure or whatever, but those setbacks sometimes allow us to reevaluate what we're doing and figure out better ways of doing it. And if you just give up and quit or stop pressing towards the goal, then to me that's what failure is.
And what does that look like right now for you?
Um, so to me, I don't think I've ever like actually failed at something, because everything that I'm headed towards seems like it's still in grasp, and I don't think that I would quit. I think that failure would be me just throwing in the towel or just saying like, okay, I'm just gonna rely on my degree and or go back to school and not finish pursuing the goals that I have set in mind to reach.
What are you passionate about? I didn't ask you that.
Oh, what am I passionate about? Um, I'm passionate about kids. I'm passionate about feeding the hungry. I'm passionate about just getting out in the community and helping like in any way that I can. Another thing that I'm passionate about is like in the middle of being like in the middle of conflict, and trying to be like a middle ground person and just trying to get both the sides to hear each other out in a way, and understand, not even to come to agreement or like saying like, okay, I agree with your side, but more so just giving the other side a chance. I think that um, I just find myself doing this a lot, and I just feel so drawn to that. Like to help people have an open mind about the conflicting sides and like kind of counseling and just different stuff like that. That's what I'm passionate about.
So, in this season of life, where you are right now, how is your passion bringing you closer to your purpose?
So, with my purpose being to get people to know God, know, love, and serve Him, um, my passions for those things put me in the different realms or put me in conversations where I can share with people about myself, and that they can just look at me or just hear me and then try to figure out why I'm different. And then if it piques their interest enough, then I'm able to share or talk about why I am the way that I am. And then the ball is kind of in their court, to figure out if they want to live the type of life I live or accept Christ into their life. And yeah.
That reminds me of how God's light shines through all of us. And it's then our responsibility to allow that light to shine through, because then people see you and they see that you're different, or, in the midst of all this chaos and confusion, that you're still at peace and you still have joy. And so, the fact that we're supposed to act as his vessels and his hands and his feet, you have to then allow yourself to die to what you want, and then let his light shine through you so that other people are then attracted to what you believe in.
Right. Exactly. That's like something where they say in the scriptures, where like you glorify God, like with what you're doing, and then in the end, He's gonna exalt you, right? So, like right now, everything that I'm doing, right? Like God, I'm your sacrifice. Use me as this vessel, and that's steady, like to me, like lowering me down. But in the end, He's gonna exalt me and give me crowns of victory in the end. So um, that's all it is. Just remembering to, like, that's key. Like a lot of times we get so caught up in our mission and our purpose and our goals and stuff, and then when they start to go right, you know it's hard not to think that it's us. So then that's when, and then even people at times will start to think that it's you. And then it's hard not to get the God complex, because then that's when you turn in and tell them, I know it seems like it's me, but everything that I'm doing is God. I wouldn't be anything that I am without Him. And that's where it works. Like you can become so good at what you do that people think that it's you. And really I have no control over what I'm doing. It's everything I do and everything I'm given is only because of the grace of God.
How do you feel about fear? Like, what does that mean to you when I say fear?
I don't mind like being in an uncomfortable situation, and I don't mind taking risk and stuff like that. And something about fear, like most people, when it's something that they fear, like they don't want to be around it, they don't want to do it at all. Like if you was like afraid of like a spider, and the spider was right there, like you don't even want to see the spider. Like you're closing your eyes, turning your back. Like if there was a roach in here and like you don't fool with roaches, then you're like, oh my God, a roach. You're calling somebody over if you live by yourself. Could you please come and kill this roach? So what's different about fear, like for me, is that the things that I feel, I guess, apprehension about, like I actually want to do. Like that's something about me too. Like, so if I was kind of like afraid of like this spider and it was right there, then me personally, I have to get as close to that spider as I can. I have to get like my heart racing, like to the point where like if I'm afraid of heights, then I want to go to the highest like peak, and just different stuff like that. And I don't know why I'm like that. That's just me. And my mom always called me, he's just a daredevil. He's just a daredevil. He always want to do this. He want to do that. Like, and I don't know why I'm like that, but that's just me. So, um, I guess like with my venture that I'm in right now, like football, even when it was from the beginning, um, like not knowing exactly how it was gonna go, spending all my money on training and all of those different things, and not knowing that I was gonna get picked up or if I was gonna even get a look, because it's such a far-fetched idea when you haven't played football in 4 or 5 years that anybody's gonna give you a look, and just the fact that I went to the point of using all of my money that I've had at the time, like even when I was in school my last semester and I got picked up, and then I just picked up and went to Seattle, and then I emailed my teachers back and forth, and I finished my stuff. Like when I was gone, like I was thinking like at a point like, why, like right now, like I've been in school for so long, and now like how am I going to finish? But there's this opportunity of a lifetime right now that I have to go after, and whatever it is, God's going to make it work. And the thing I always think about is that, you know, God knows my steps. He's ordered them, so if it's for me, when I get there, it's going to work out. So that's what eliminates that fear complex for me. And so if I know or I feel in my heart that God is directing me in that direction, then go. And like Will Smith always talk about on this page, you gotta just go, go. you know when like I'm kind of thinking about the one when like these people were about to jump off this diving board and it was so high, because right on the other side of fear is the best experiences, you know what I mean? So right on the opposite side of, that's why it's there though. You can live a mediocre life, you can reach a point right before fulfilling your purpose, but there's going to be this fear complex that's going to be there, because most people fear failure.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. You are a child of God. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
And we are, we've been given every tool that we need, so there's really no need to fear, but to get to that point or to know yourself and know who you are, that's hard. Some people are born with that and some people just aren't.
Hearing you talk about that, I went to it's called Global Leadership Summit, and Erwin McManus, but he was talking about how on the other side of pain is your victory, your blessing, all these things. And I think a lot of times we cloud our judgment because, it's not going so well, or it doesn't feel good, or it hurts, it must not be from God. And I think hearing him talk about that and talk about just his story and how he endured so much pain to just kind of overcome that to get to where he is now and what he's experienced and just the testimony that he has, it's really just like life-changing that something that we see as negative is really the one thing that you need to push you further to help you to succeed and to walk in purpose, do what you're passionate about, serve people, do all the things that God has called us to do.
Right.
Is there something that you fear right now that you're having to overcome, and you're using your passion to like kind of propel you through that?
don't like the word fear, but
Oh.
like the thing that I think about most, like kind of right now, is like never getting a job again in football. Um, so the way that I'm just using like my passion, um, or my knowing my purpose to get myself up and just continue to go to work out and to call my agent, trying to figure out what's going on and letting him call people and do whatever. Is just knowing that it's more people out there that I need to reach. And the pulpit of the NFL gives me more people than the other avenues that I could take, the easier routes and stuff like that. So that's how I propel myself through those fears.
What would you call them if you don't want to call them fear?
Because I'm not scared of that. Or it's not something that like I'm worried about. It's just more so like, well, it's more so like, do I just continue to wait and waste my time, right? And this never happens, or do I just go, I know I can be in the CFL right now. They want to give me a contract right now. So it's just like knowing like which decision to make. Like, so I don't think I'm afraid of it. It's just like, I'm more afraid of like wasting the time, I guess. I don't know.
So if you know that the CFL is like guaranteed, like you could get what you wanted, maybe just not at the level that you wanted, what's stopping you from going that route and continuing to fight for the NFL?
It's more so the stage. So like in CFL contracts lock you in. And so if I was to get a call like these people want me in the NFL right now, that will give me the platform that I want, I'm stuck now. You know what I mean? So that's why.
So how do you know that that God isn't telling you, hey, just sit still for a few years and then I'll take, because maybe there's something that needs to happen while you're in this league, that you're going to learn, that you're going to experience. I mean, you never, and this is my personal opinion, but I feel like your platform isn't always about, I mean, granted, the higher you go, the more people you can reach, obviously. But if you're not giving them quality, if those people aren't getting the best version of you, then are you really doing what you're supposed to be doing?
That's good. Something to think about. I like it.
It just came to mind because I know a lot of times we get distracted by what we want. And I think I'm also kind of experiencing this right now. Someone had me recently like write down everything I want in my life. And kind of getting rid of like generational curses or generational cycles that I've kind of experienced or witnessed. And that has kind of opened my mind to different things and like my potential to get what I want. Because no one ever said to me like, you can't have what you want. Like I just kind of told myself that I don't see that, so it's not in reach for me. But I think that a lot of times we can get distracted by, oh, that looks nice, or oh, it, like we don't necessarily see the work that it takes to get what we want. We just see like, oh, I'm gonna have this platform, or oh, I'm gonna know these people or do these things, and we forget about the pain and the agony and the fear and maybe the negative things that come associated with having that platform.
But then what happens when you need to be in that type of environment to show that people that are like you can operate in that environment? We find like the churches or whatever telling people, well, be careful if you go out there in Hollywood. Be careful if you go to the NFL because it's hard to do the right thing if you're here. Those are different like viewpoints too. But I do agree with what you said. What is a spiritual gift?
My understanding of a spiritual gift is basically a gift that God gave you that you use to advance the kingdom. And so when I did my spiritual gifts assessment, my spiritual gifts are service, exhortation or like encouragement, leadership. Yeah, I got some others, but those are like the main ones that I actually relate to.
Yeah, I think that ministry, and speaking.
Teaching or speaking?
Both teaching, speaking, and counseling are spiritual gifts for me. I also have gift of revelation. So just like reading, like opening up scripture and like what it means for me or like for people around me just naturally comes to me. So those are my spiritual gifts that I know of currently. I have the spiritual gift of the tongue. I can speak things and they just happen. I think we all have that gift though.
Yeah.
You just have to tap into it.
I think it just depends on where your faith is.
It does. How big it is.
Or how small it is. Because you can have not a lot of faith and speak a lot of power.
The faith, right? Like this faith the size of a mustard seed can move a mountain, right? So how big, like if your faith was the size of the mountain, you can move the universe.
Yeah.
Right? So that's it's not saying that small faith don't move things. The bigger your faith, the more faith that you have, then the more things that you can attain. So little faith do move mountains. But why would you keep your faith the size of a mustard seed if it's going to grow into something that's going to be so huge? Why you just want to stay the mustard seed? Why not water it?
That's true. But I think it takes faith. Like you have to have faith that
you gotta have some faith though.
What are you focusing your faith on?
My works.
Your works? In terms of like what you're doing and how you're using your time, things like that?
The things that are promised to me. I have a job in between the success point, which is the top growth point of the growth, that I have to continue to just work, and that I reach that because he's gonna make a way because I'm favored. That's what I'm focusing on. My favor, actually.
What is something you would say to someone who is pursuing their passion, but the road or the route to the end of the destination is not as clear as they would like it to be?
I would tell them to focus on the goal and not the battle that they're fighting. That sometimes you have to take sacrifices, but in the end, it will come out to be a great victory. But as they focus on the goal, be present in the moment, because without that moment, you won't be prepared for the next moment or what the end goal requires of you. Ooh, that was good. Boom.
That reminds me about learning lessons. Like, if you do something and God wants you to get a certain lesson out of it and you don't learn the lesson, he's just going to allow you to keep making the same mistakes with different surroundings until you get it.
Till you get it. I think we're done here. Y'all go first to my website.
That was very smart of you to write that down.
www.choicing.com. And y'all can follow me there. I write on a blog. And y'all can follow me on Instagram right here. _CHO1SEN Choicing. And you can follow me on Twitter here. The C1. Boom. Thank you, Jasmine, for having me on your show, Going With Him. And no matter where I'm going, don't worry where it looks like I'm stopping, because it's not me. I'm just following. I'm going with Him. So if I stop, don't blame me. Blame my leader.
Okay, friends, it's been another amazing Testimony Tuesday. Cyril, thanks for sharing with us. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop those below. We'd love to hear from you. And